what's going to be How's It Hanging, How's It Happen? You guys know who this is. This is Kevin from the Chord Progression podcast. The podcast, Rolling Stone says, initiates profound discussions with rock and metal artists, allowing fans to discover the creative workflow of their favorite musicians and understand the factors that make the band succeed or fall from fame. We are also sponsored by Dark Fusion Systems, the best for your custom computing needs. Get $100 off your entire bill. Use code CPPOD at darkfusionsystems.com. Description of the podcast below. Now let's go to our feature presentation. We are with another band off of Theoria Records. We're with For Tomorrow. We're with Eyker and Brendan on the podcast today. We talk about their brand new song Control. We dive in deep to the lyricism and the meaning behind it. We also do WWE style intros and how this band is taking those DIY roots and expanding them to maintain that want of a DIY band, but the overall increase in experience that means bringing other people into the show. Are you guys ready? Let's go! Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listeners of the Chord Progression podcast, a big shout out to Mr. Cody Frayne and Theoria Records because they have sent us so many great bands in the past for you guys to discover and get into before they really hit it big. And here's another one for you today. All the way from the eastern part of the United States, I believe Richmond, Virginia is the place. They have a style metalcore that is for fans of stuff like I Prevail, more like New Bad Omens, newer Bring Me the Horizon, stuff like Wage War. And they just released a brand new song called Control, which came out on June 28th. So you get to go listen to it right now if you want to, but listen to it after you're done with this interview because that's a better idea to get into the band before you check out the song if you haven't already. So please welcome Eyker and Brendan from the band For Tomorrow, the podcast. So gentlemen, welcome to the Chord Progression podcast.
Hey man, thank you so much for having us, dude. We're stoked to be here.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us.
Hey, it is a pleasure to have
intro.
you. Oh, I got to give everyone the biggest intro I possibly can because if I just said, here is For Tomorrow, who's going to want to actually, check that out? It's like, I got to hype you up as much as possible. Be like, these guys can bench 315 with one arm. That's how strong they are. And their music is going to kick your ass too.
Hell yeah, man.
I mean, I got to go with pretty soon. I got to try one that's like a WWE style intro. It's just from Richmond, Virginia, weighing in at 100 and something pounds, but can deadlift 600 because he's just that strong. It's Eyker! Yeah! And his tag team partner, weighing in at I don't know how much, but cannot deadlift nearly as much as Eyker, but he does know the difference between butter and I can't believe it's not butter. Brendan.
And the crowd goes wild.
And tonight, you guys are going one-on-one with The Undertaker.
Oh, God, man.
Man. I don't know
I used to love playing those old WWE games and shit on fucking old school Nintendo and shit. So I always like the games more than I liked actually watching wrestling. But I don't know, the announcer and the hype and the music and shit is always good.
You got to get the hype in there, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, Control is going to be the intro music for some new wrestler on NXT. It might happen. I hope it happens. That'd be freaking awesome.
Down.
I'm here.
Sign me up, coach.
Let's do it.
It's like, put me in, coach. Put me in the WWE. But really, one thing I want everyone to discover you guys as a band as well. And beginning in the pandemic year of 2020, really bringing this to light, releasing a couple of EPs over the past couple of years. I want everyone to get to know the origin story of For Tomorrow. Not like just, oh, this is what happened. No. I want you to set this up like if this is the original Iron Man starting the MCU. That kind of a story. So whoever's ready to take it off, I want to know what's the origin story of For Tomorrow.
Brandon, you want to take that one?
Okay, all right, I'll take it. Okay, so on a dark evening summer in 2019, 4 metalcore band dudes got together. I'm gonna lose it. So I think
just trying to background
generally, noise. Our main guy, Mikey Kanoy, he's our primary songwriter, our guitar player. He sings a lot in our stuff as well. He had started this band and kind of went through a couple iterations, went through some lineup changes, wrote a lot with a bunch of different dudes, and eventually started putting the band together with other people from established bands in the local tri-state area to Richmond. And he ended up picking up me and our other guitarist, James. And we wrote some music. We had a different singer before Eyker for a couple EPs. And, we wrote some stuff, and one thing led to another, ended up not working out with that singer. And then last year, like a year and 2 months ago, we picked up Eyker on vocals. And so we just really just been dialing in and refining our sound with like our core songwriting group. And then we finally found Eyker and kind of really like nailed in that final piece of what we were looking for, got on the same page with what we're trying to achieve musically, and really started kind of making the music that we really want to, with like, it's kind of like that modern metalcore, a lot of that rock and hard rock kind of vibe, but like still metal. You can tell we all have that like alternative metal background and kind of come from like old school metalcore bands in the scene. So we're kind of doing like, I don't know, we have some weird experimental stuff, but I don't know, we kind of found a sound that I feel like's uniquely us in a sense, without being like too out there either. So we're definitely one of those bands that's been through it and been through a lot with finding the right members that all work together. I think that's probably one of the hardest parts of being in a band, is like just finding the perfect team. And I think we finally found everybody that's on the same page, brings a lot to the table, and just trying to do this thing for real, make like real music that's personal to us and is creative and satisfying to listen to and really fun to listen to. And yeah, we're just trying to really do the damn thing. Trying to get out there, play shows, connect with people, meet people. And
I also would add, just to add, I feel like once Initiation came out, the band kind of went through like a new reinvention to a certain degree, which has been pretty sick. We've been really landing on everything we keep putting out has been something we've been stoked on, and the favorite song keeps updating to the newest one, which is always a good sign. So that's always like very tight, is when you can't pick your favorite song, but it's because the new one keeps becoming the favorite. So
yeah, that's we definitely try it. Like you said, I hit the nail on the head with that. Like just trying to do our best on every next song. Like we want our next song to be our best song. Our latest track, we always want to try to make it our best track, because we want to push ourselves as songwriters and we just want to like make better stuff. And I think for a long time, for like, I don't know, probably like the last 3 years with the band, we've been really passionate about being DIY. And I think we're kind of at a pivoting point with that. We're still really proud of being DIY and doing as much as we can DIY, but like Mikey, our guitarist, has mixed and recorded, and for a long time was mastering like both of our previous EPs, Dreaming Analog and Perfect Strangers. Mikey mixed and mastered, and our latest EP, Initiation, Mikey also mixed, but then we had Mike Calagian do the master on it. So we're like starting to expand the team and bring other people in. And I've been doing our videos for the last couple years. I've been doing our music videos and like promo photos and stuff. But most recently, actually, just like yesterday, we worked with another video director and kind of expanding that team. And we've been working with trying to get more like co-writers and stuff in, and bring in like a larger like production team as
Set
well.
for Tomorrow is really weird because we always make a joke about like having the Set for Tomorrow label with the Brendan does a lot of video content, Mikey handles a lot of the audio stuff, Brendan's a pretty analytical guy, Sean handles a lot of show stuff, and then I handle some of the design stuff with merch and stuff like that. So it's basically the band. We just kind of all
everybody's got
spot.
something else that they add outside of their role. And so we're still passionate about that, and we still are very hands-on with every aspect of the band and trying to make something cohesive and exciting, and like put all of us into it. Like not just that, like for example, like Eyker, not just that, he's a talented singer or lyricist or whatever, but it's like he's also an artist. And like, so we really just want to put like all of that, like we want to put his design and stuff into it and really grow everything, where it's like we just put all of everything that we have into it, because like, I don't know, that's our passion, that's our goal, that's our dream, is to like make this music thing happen. And we all kind of have that all in mentality. So
I mean, I'll say it definitely helps when you have guys in the band, as like you said, Brendan, when it comes to forming a band, it's all about getting the right people together, people that are passionate about what you're doing, but also have that drive to continue to do more beyond that as well. And from me speaking with a bunch of different bands and from your own personal experience as well, especially in other bands, you've probably dealt with band members that might be in it for one reason or another that's not really as fully invested into it. And if you're trying to make it big and you're really trying to drive on this, and you have people in the band that just kind of see it as a side project or just something to do on the weekends, it doesn't necessarily fit with your whole entire thing. Now, to those people that are doing stuff like that, where they just want to be doing it on the weekends, if you find a group that just wants to do that and just stick with it, that is totally fine. Yeah. That is more power to you. But when you have that consistent drive to go further and do it the way you guys want to do it and keep growing this, then you want to find those people that are going to continue to grow it. Now, the other big piece is not only are you amplifying everybody's creative aspects within the music, but the creative aspects that enhance the music outside of just writing the songs and writing the lyrics and performing this stuff. You've got everybody that has a different niche in terms of what they care about, whether it's design, videography, mixing, mastering, show production, that kind of stuff. So you can build this stuff out and you have someone in there that's interested to continue to grow it. But when you're seeing now is, I know you're proud of the DIY roots. That is something to be incredibly proud of, due to get to where you are. But as the band continues to grow, bringing in some outside help, whether it is on the show side, on the design side, videography, mixing, mastering, producing, whatever it could be, you guys can still easily be in that and in that conversation fully, because it is your music, it is your band, and you have people in each aspect that are interested in it. But by bringing some other people as well, you get to see maybe some ideas that you just aren't seeing, or some pieces that you don't know about yet, just based on experience or based on someone else's different creativity. Of course, you don't necessarily have to take those ideas or take those pieces of advice, but you have the ability to learn from that. And I've seen a lot of bands that really stick with the DIY stuff, and it's a great idea. But if you're so closed off, you're not going to let other influences potentially come in and see where you're potentially have a little bit of shortfalls on certain things, or if someone has an idea that can really enhance it further, then you're kind of stuck in this box that's not going to let you fully expand. And it seems like where you guys are at, whereas you have that piece in place, but now you're expanding the team even further to where you still have the DIY feel as everybody is within it, but you're bringing in other people so that the ideas and the perfection that you really want to create on these songs and the presentation of them can continue to expand into much greater realm.
You put that way more articulately than I did, because that's nail on the head. And I think that's like the perfect segue to, like you mentioned, Cody referring us to you. Like, you know, we had talked with Cody before. We've been friends with the If Not For Me guys for a while, played shows with them and whatnot. And I've been personally doing work with them for a little bit. And we talked to Cody about it before. One reason or another, timing didn't line up with what we had going on. But then after Initiation came out and we started planning the release of Control, the song that just came out, and kind of what we were going to follow up Initiation with, we were like, let's, again, that DIY, there's a lot of pride there. So we're like, okay, let's be humble. Let's start trying to work with people. We're trying to grow. We're trying to listen. We're trying to learn. And we're like, let's talk to Cody and see what Cody can bring to the table. And Cody was fired up about it. And he's just been great. He's helped us book a lot of the upcoming shows that we have. So he's been helping us get that together. He's been helping us get playlisting and stuff with Control. It's the first song we dropped with them, with Theoria. And just in general, just putting a lot of energy and effort into the band and helping us with advertisements and anything else. He's very hands-on and involved in the best way possible. And with his successes and his networking in the industry, it's definitely an opinion that we welcome and respect. So very grateful to be on the team. And like you said, Theoria has a hell of a roster. There's no bad bands on there. So we're stoked to be part of that lineup for sure.
And not only is it a hell of a roster, but there's definitely upward expansion, because even talking with Cody as he puts Theoria, he knows it's a label he considers a developmental label, where it's not going to be one of the big boys. It's not going to be like Sharp Tone, Sumerian, or Fearless Records, something like that. But what it does is it helps you guys to continue to grow, helps it have a label behind you guys that can support you to get to the next level. Because I'll bring up a band like with Cody, with If Not For Me. When I first interviewed the guys, they were on Theoria. Next time I interviewed them, they were on In Vogue. And then all of a sudden I interviewed them again and they were on Thriller. So it just keeps growing. And it's like, okay, so he knows how to do this stuff, not only from his label standpoint, but then he has experience of going into it and how to continue to grow to the next step. And knowing Cody, when you guys get to that next step, he's not going to just be like, okay, see you guys. No, if you ask him a question and you need his help on something, he's going to definitely give you the help because he believes in you. That's why you guys are on Theoria right now. And it absolutely makes sense. Plus, the one big thing I remember Cody talking about was when it comes to trying to find bands to put on Theoria is bands that have a sound, that have a style that he believes in, but at the same time, it's the work that you guys are putting in that needs to be believed in, and you want to do this stuff, and you're going to push yourself to continue to get better with every single release. Eyker, like you said, every single song is a new favorite song because you try and get better every single step of the way. Plus, with the mindset of having the DIY, but the expanded style of bringing more people in the team, now you're showing that investment even further, not only to the guys at Theoria, but you're proving it to yourself as well. And you're seeing the dividends happen where, hey, you guys are on Theoria now. What's going to happen next year? You guys might have an even bigger release and you might move to another label that's even bigger that can get you on some bigger tours that'll get you touring the nation across the United States. It could very well happen. It has happened before. And you guys are putting in the work to do it. And now that recognition is starting to get there, which is really promising.
Hell yeah, man. I'm so stoked. Like, genuinely, I think that hits the nail on the head for sure. I think Cody's definitely a big supporter and definitely wants to see not just us, but all of his bands win in just the best way and just do do right by them as people and then also as artists. And I think
to your
that's
point,
super critical.
To your point, I also love that Cody's someone in a band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just like one band or two band, but is he in like three with the difference between The Scent Like Wolves and If Not For Me?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's a but I just mean like as a band guy. Yeah, he's got it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best part about it is it's like, yeah, he's running this stuff, but he's also in it too. So he knows everything of what you guys are going through. He's experienced it, but it's not like he experienced it 20, 30 years ago. No, he's experiencing it now. So when it comes to writing, working with people, like the production side of things, the label side of things, trying to help, other labels get notice you guys, different things with shows, or just the way that social media is and how important that is at the moment. He's in the middle of all that. So you guys have a great partner in that. One thing I do want to get to, though, is Eyker, you specifically, because you said you joined the band a little bit later. How did you get to join the band, and what was that like coming into this whole entire thing that is set for tomorrow?
All right. So I went to go meet people who were musicians around my area. I was like, I need to get out of my house and start find people for a band or whatever. This is a while back. And I went to go do like a live band karaoke thing at one of the local venues that Mikey was working at, and I covered an Under Oath song live, and I basically just came off stage and met Mikey. He was like behind the sound booth, and then we talked about collabing on some music for fun just because. So that was kind of how I first got acquainted with somebody in Set for Tomorrow, and then he started working on some previous stuff that I had been a part of like prior to. And then once they had some stuff fall through, I reached out and offered if they needed a fill-in, I was willing to come hang out and shoot the shit and see how it went. And that was basically it. Went from karaoke to fill in the spot to sticking around. Couldn't get rid of me. It just latched on to the bottom of the car.
Yeah. I mean, it was literally that. I mean, like we we were in that situation where we were looking for a new singer. And we had shows coming up that we didn't want to cancel, and we were like, all right, let's just get a fill in. And Mikey's like, I know this guy, like, I was at this karaoke thing like 6 months ago, and he covered Under Oath, and he's so sick, dude. Like, he said he's down to fill in, bro. And I'm like, all right, man. Like, Mikey sounds nothing like that, but for today's purposes, that's what he sounds like.
We're doing the WWE thing for everything, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I know this guy named Eyker.
He covers Under Oath really well. So, whatever. So we had like a week and a half little tour lined up, just like some DIY shit. And then we were playing
And
like
ink.
a side stage at Incarceration, and then another DIY festival in New York. And we were like, we're at a rough spot with the band as things go, and we're like, so let's get a fill in, and then we'll figure out what to do when the dust settles. And we brought Eyker was available and jumped in and learned the whole set in like a week and a half, 2 weeks or whatever.
Yeah, I originally had like
And
12. I think it was 12 songs
12
originally
songs,
or
yeah.
something. Yeah, I had the whole thing down like two.
it was a whole set for
Yeah, it was
sure.
crazy.
And then we ran it, and then we were like, we loved his personality. We really liked the vibe, and we were having a great time. It's kind of like fit the spot really well, sounded great live. And then we were like, that's all well and dandy, but again, we want to be really thorough and making sure we find the right person. We were like, we gotta write, see how he is in the studio. We gotta write a song, see how it is before we put that final stamp of approval on it. And
That was
what's the first song we did? Like Murder.
Like Murder. We did
Like
Murder, and then
Murder.
the guys called me right afterwards.
Yeah, it was like
directly
once we heard that
submitted. Yeah,
that breakdown, and yeah, we were sold, and then we just doubled down, and then just been cranking out some tunes and just having the best damn time while we do it. So it finally feels like we're really starting to hit our stride, and we're really proud of where we're at. We're proud of where we came from. We're proud of the work that's gone into it, and yeah, we're super stoked on the lineup.
Well, one thing we can say is thank God for karaoke. Sometimes we hear some of the absolute worst singers up there, but then Eyker covers Under Oath, and then they call you for a fill-in, they call you for a song, and then they ask you to be a part of the band, and you go all WWE style, Macho Man Randy Savage, but with his cameo in the original Spider-Man, and you go, Eyker is ready.
Yeah.
He's the cream of the crop, rising to the top.
Ooh, yeah.
But that's an encouragement out there for anyone listening, though. If you sing songs and you got a voice, like, put yourself out there. You never know who's watching, and like
meet people. Don't just lock yourself in your room.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of times where there's different vocalists that, especially ones that I've known, that have gone out there, or stories that we all know that people have gone out there, have done different things, and by doing that, just trying to put themselves out there, have gotten to be in some bands that have really risen to the top. And two that come to the top of my head right now is one, Danny Case, when he was doing a bunch of different vocal covers, and then got added as the vocalist alongside Matt in From Ashes to New. And look what From Ashes to New is doing now, especially with Danny on there. My God, first time I heard Panic and heard him scream, I thought we had Chester Bennington back. It was freaking nuts. Or go even heavier, when CJ got kicked out of Lorna Shore and they were trying to find someone just to fill in. They picked Will Ramos just to fill in. Then they brought him out of Foley, and then the first thing they released them is To the Hellfire. And now look at what Lorna Shore is doing. They're going out in the fall, and they've sold out a shit ton of shows. And these aren't small venues either.
Yeah.
They're like 3,000 cap venues. The one in Chicago easily is. So it's like, my God, you motherfuckers. But it's just stuff like that where, especially if you feel like it's within your soul and you really want to put it, and you really want to do something, go and put it out there. It's vocalist, guitarist, drummer, whatever it is. Go and try. Go and meet people. Go to karaoke, or if you can put it out online, if that's what makes you more comfortable, just put it out there somewhere. Because even if people comment and they comment something like, "Oh, this sucks," whatever. They're just sitting behind their computer. They're not actually, talking to you at that point. Or you never know. They might really like it. They might invite you to come, fill in it for them in Incarceration. And next thing you know, then more people see you. It's just, you put yourself out there. You go and meet people. And even if it's something where it's like, hey, you just don't fit our style or whatnot, maybe they can suggest you for a different band that they know that's looking for someone that fits your style. Or even if it's somewhere it's like, oh yeah, maybe they're just not that good. Trust me, if you feel like, oh my God, they think I suck, they're not going to, they have so much other stuff going on. They're not going to remember what you said like the previous day. So go back out there, try it again, put something new out there. And the more you continue to try, the more you're going to get better at it. And the better chance you have of running into people that are like, holy shit, this dude is freaking nuts, or this chick is absolutely awesome. Let's see how they fit in with our band. And next thing you know, Now you're actually looking and trying to achieve your dream, and you have an avenue to do it.
Yep. Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother. That's exactly what we're talking about. Now, I got to ask you this question, too, because it goes along with what Eyker said with every single song you're releasing, like the brand new favorite. What about Control? Is Control the new favorite song of the band right now?
Control is... It depends on the day of the week for me. What do you think, Eyker?
Dude, all right, so Control was the favorite for me when it was done. And now we've moved on. For me, it's to writing the next song and finishing up the next song. So that's the new favorite for me. And then I'll see if it changes again.
For sure, the new one that is releasing sooner than people probably expect. That one's definitely the favorite. But for Control, let's not count our chickens before they hatch or whatever the expression is. But Control is really catchy. It's got that earworm hook, and it's got this electronic kind of influence that I can only describe as like a Need for Speed soundtrack type vibe. And I love that because I'm a big like soundtrack guy for like video games and stuff. And it's kind of, I don't know, it makes me want to drive my car fast. And I like that. It's that drum and bass kind of feel. So I really like that. But also, my favorite song of ours is Love Me Not. And I think that song has so much ear candy. And I like Control more, but probably just because I'm less tired of it because it's newer. But Love Me Not's definitely was a hard song to beat, with that being like the lead single off of Initiation, the last one that we dropped and like put the most effort and energy into. Control was it was a tough one to follow up, but I think we have something special with Control. I think it's a really interesting song, and it's very much its own sound that I really like.
Well, I can kind of see you're coming from where you're saying, it depends on the day of the week, because with thinking about Need for Speed and driving your car really fast, if it's a gloomy, rainy day out in the middle of summer, you're not going to want to listen to Control just as your favorite song, because you can't drive your car real fast without,
beating your doom on a gloomy day while you're driving.
Exactly. Right. But if it's, again, we're in the middle of summer. So when it's, nice outside, not oppressively hot, but, nice where you can roll down the windows and you can just cruise. Yeah, that's the kind of song that you want to listen to. And Brendan, it actually makes sense, when you're talking about just the way that it bounces and the electronic pieces to it, how it does fit that Need for Speed soundtrack style. So it feels like you're driving, it has that energy behind it. And being a big kind of soundtrack guy, it adds to just the overall idea of, okay, what kind of, like, from a video game standpoint, what kind of video game would this sound have fit in? Not just a specific one, but what kind of franchise, what kind of, overall game style. And then when you're looking at it, how does that emotion evoke and really add on to it? Because thinking about different video games, especially when, for me growing up in the 2000s and playing video games primarily on like, not necessarily, early was N64. Most of the time when I was growing up was PS2 though. So
same, dude.
You're playing like stuff, like Madden, and seeing the soundtrack that was on Madden, getting all the bands there. Guitar Hero, of course, was a big one.
Yeah.
But like racing games, Need for Speed, it had to have that kind of energy behind it.
Yeah.
Because if it didn't, then you don't want to drive fast when you're listening to All Around Me Are Familiar Faces. Like that's you're driving in the rain, just like
that's the rainy life. Day. That's
the rainy day contemplating life. You want something that's gonna have like that, like Need for Speed, Fast and Furious, but also has that boppy metalcore feel to it. That's what Control is.
Yes, that is. Yeah, that's the headline right there. You know what I mean? Like that kind of hits it, and I think the next song we're gonna be dropping is still kind of has that Need for Speed kind of vibe, but it's also kind of got like a little bit of like a cyberpunk vibe. So we're really excited about that. It kind of expands on kind of the foundation that we laid with Love Me Not and Control, and kind of just like doubles down on a lot of those ideas in a really fun and interesting way.
See, now the way you say that after listening to some of the music, I've kind of I'm already in my mind wondering like when this song's gonna come out. I've got a way that in my head, the intro, the beginning part of the intro, the second part of the intro, way the first verse is going to already hit. Like, I've got it in my head. I'm like, I want to see if this is actually going to hit.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say what it is because I want to see what happens in the song, because I don't want to put ideas in anybody else's head like, this is what we're going to have to expect. No. I want them to expect the unexpected, but only expect what you guys want them to expect.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think we can say here, I don't know that we want to spoil the release date yet, but we can tell you that it will be out in August. So don't have to wait too long. You will have more music soon.
Yep.
Ooh, well, we get more new music, and I don't want to spoil too much, and I want more people to be excited for it, but also to still listen to Control as well. And I got to go back to Eyker on this one because I was looking at the press release, and when it came to the meaning of the song and the way that you expressed it on there, it was really interesting to kind of pick up on it, just given the overall, take on it. So just to tell everybody what that take is, but where did the inspiration really come for this song lyrically to really bring it out the way you did?
Yeah, so I just kind of I like I try to not write lyrics that hover too far in like the relationship category all the
Mhm.
time because I feel like it's just been done a lot. So it's like, which is fine because it's really relatable, but like I try to like be either really specific or think outside of the box.
Mhm.
And for this one, I really wanted to write something that was kind of like a makeup breakup anthem for people who have this really bad habit of going right back to whoever they find comforting, even if it's not like the best scenario. And I kind of wanted to play like the good guy and bad guy piece kind of in the breakdown. Where it's like the screaming is kind of like a gaslighty
Mhm.
toxic part over actually fun fact, we hired a children's choir for the background melody that's being sung over the breakdown. That's the lead up in the bridge. And I was trying to like A-B them and just kind of have like this is like one person can't get away, the other person's telling them not to leave, and this whole
Mhm.
entire thing it kind of adds to it. So I just really wanted to yeah, just make a makeup breakup anthem for people to stop running back to that same person over and over again.
See, I can see where you're coming from there when you don't really want to talk about the full relationship standpoint, but it kind of took a little bit of a different turn from my perspective because I think in the press release, it was like realizing that when we leave a toxic relationship, when you're not addressing the reason you're drawn to that person, it'll lead you to encounter that same thing or that same person over and over again. But from my standpoint, I'm like, what it essentially does for us is it calls out our own personal growth and reflecting and discovering what draws us to people that are necessarily not the best for us and take accountability for that. We are resistant to taking that accountability because we don't want to see ourselves as the problem. We don't want to see ourselves as the bad guy. We aren't
Right.
necessarily the problem here, but if we don't make that change and remove the attraction for that problem or from that problem, we're enabling the same issue to happen over and over again. So it might be about a relationship, but essentially when it really boils down, it goes down to really personal accountability for your own wants, needs, and actions.
Yeah,
And if you see something that's negative, but you keep doing it, then that's on you to try and figure out where the core of that is, change that, and reverse course.
yeah, can't keep fishing in the same pond and expect to find different fish. It's not gonna pull anything new out of there.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I'm not going to northern Wisconsin in the middle of a lake and expecting to catch a freaking salmon when the only thing up there is like small panfish and maybe walleye, northerns, muskies. Like I can't catch a freaking salmon up there. I got to go to a different lake.
Right.
But if I keep trying to fish in the same thing, it's like doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results is lunacy. Like we
Right.
can't have that. But at the same time, when it comes to the song, it also the problem is because it's not like an outside thing that you have to change. It's something within you that has to change. You have to take
Internal.
accountability for that. And that's much harder for people to do because we don't want to admit that sometimes we're wrong or have to change something about us.
I think that comfort and complacency like transcends just this song itself because I feel like it's regardless of whatever it is, everyone's got their own vices and their comfort of like what they run to, even if it's not good for you, whether that's drinking, drugs, codependent relationship, or smoking, or even something as innocent as like eating sweets or something. It's like running back to that and being able to be like, what, I don't want to be complacent. I need change. I want to grow. I want to be better, and realize taking that hard look in the mirror and being like, you know what, like this starts within, this starts with me. I need to, take that step away and just like when something stressful happens, don't, immediately run to the vape or run to the cigarettes. It's like, okay, like let's deal with it. Let's look at this feeling. Let's look at these emotions, analyze it, learn from it, and do something different to grow as a person. So I think like, I don't know. Yes, like the songs like kind of has that like relationship touch, but I think you
Mhm.
can really like dig deeper into that, look at yourself and move forward type of message from it. I think, at least for me personally. I mean, Eyker wrote the shit. I just listened to it.
No, 100%. That's all the above.
That's the beauty of it. It's like the relationship point of it is like the front
It's like
of
a
it,
metaphor for it. It's not necessarily like the end all be all like of what the song is about.
Yeah, it's like the surface part of it, but you really got to go deeper to really like really think about it from a standpoint of, this is actually about you and yourself and confronting the things that make you want to go back to that all the time and how to break that cycle from happening. Because even at times when you're not thinking about a relationship, there's other things that, maybe you go back to, like you said, like drinking, drugs, sweets, or maybe it's just like, this is like a family thing where your family has always gone through this. And because now you're going through it, it's kind of like, oh, it's okay. My family went through this stuff. So I'm just kind of in the same thing that they are. Yeah. But then it's like, you got to break the cycle at some point, and you got to look within to break that cycle.
There's too many people who live, which is fine. Like I feel like it's common and easy to do is like to just live your life reacting to things, which is like you can do that, but then like you can never like get a hold of whatever the hell's going on. You got to like take the initiative, step out, be really be uncomfortable for a bit and not be so complacent.
Yeah, because complacency can breed just that same old stuff and can breed like no change. And then you're stuck in the same spot over and over again. And yes, it is uncomfortable to step out of that and make the change, but that breaks complacency and that helps you continue to grow. Like, and it even goes from a music standpoint too. Like you guys, you constantly want to try stuff that's bigger and better. You love the DIY aspect, but you got to break that complacency and maybe bring some other people in there to help you out with certain things, to get those better ideas, to get those brand new inspirations. And to build on that collaboration style to not only better the band, but better you guys as individuals when it comes to not only your musicianship and your styles, but also your artistic interests outside of music, whether it's design, video, mixing and mastering, show production, sound, whatever it might be.
Yeah, man, that's 100% it. Hit the nail on the head with it.
You guys even like put this as like a weird metaphor for yourselves even and didn't even realize it. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, I mean that's just it, man. And that's, I don't know, that's like I said and earlier, just to like kind of bring the idea full circle is like, we our core team just we put all of ourselves into it. And I think inadvertently, like without even a conscious effort of it, like that's just going to happen when you're giving something 100%,
Oh, absolutely. And of course, the song builds on, it's kind of taking a look at the electronic pattern to it. It kind of has that amplified feel. So it's kind of like, again, when you're like in a Need for Speed game, you're trying to race against time and you're ready to race against the clock or race against other racers and beat them. But at the same time, when you're trying to race and you're trying to get through this stuff, you're trying to essentially discover what's within you that's causing this stuff and overcome it instead of letting it, really become complacent. But when we got to the chorus, what really stood out to me for that was it kind of gave off this, especially from an instrumental standpoint and the drive, more of this feeling like you got on the newest Wage War record. But when it came to that emotional hit, just the way that Eyker, shoot, I said Eyker, my God. Eyker.
That is the one I always get. It's fine. I'm used to that one. That's what I always expect to get.
Yeah, but if you want to roast me for that, roast me for that. But what I was going to go is vocally, especially with the clean spots and the higher pitch to it, it hit on some of those Dayseeker vibes. Dayseeker, they can get real emotional. They can get really into your soul and really into your heart and your brain at the time. But it kind of felt like there was a little bit of a Rory Rodriguez inspiration to the vocal pattern here, alongside a little bit of a heavier but more upbeat backing at the same time to show that emotional hit where you have to realize that within yourself to break that cycle. And it's hard. It kind of sucks, but it has this like cathartic release when you actually do it. And that's really where the chorus comes out here.
Thank you, man. It's funny you point out like the switch ups in the singing kind of to comparing it to Dayseeker. I actually grew up on my parents are Latino. I'm Puerto Rican and Panamanian. So when I had my upbringing was very much not rock until I started learning an instrument. So I grew up on a lot of like R&B singers and pop singers and salsa and stuff like that. So I really like to kind of bring in some of that more mainstreamy sounding singing into our stuff without being too, specific with the certain kind of sound. But we really play with that. We've been playing with dynamics in the vocals like that. I think that kind of idea of like switching between like the more aggressive singing that you kind of get in Absolve and Love Me Not and the end of like Control, like the I Want to Lose Control line, to like the falsetto-y switching in between. I think that style is probably going to stick around because I really like texture, like the texture for it's cool.
Yeah, and when you think about, R&B and some more of the pop stuff and some more of the Latin music, especially with the way the vocals are, they really do express that a lot more because compared to stuff like rock or metal where backing instrumentals are such heavier and such more of a prominent thing, the vocals really have to carry the story and really carry the emotional toll that is there. So when you have those switches and you have those moments, your backing and your influences from your past, it really helps set that up so you understand how to do this stuff and really bring it out into the forefront for these songs and for your stuff going forward, while even potentially having that heavier backing in there to contrast against at times, but really amplify both pieces of the heaviness of the toll that comes through here, but the emotional toll through your vocals given completely different pitches and different sounds. It's a really beautiful thing when you're able to maximize out on that. There's certain bands that do it incredibly well, and all they have in that case is different influences from different time periods in their life where they learn this stuff from different genres. Like country music, not my thing, but is an incredible piece of storytelling with how they do their stuff, especially when you get to like I'm not talking about, stadium country about boots and jean shorts and whatever.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I'm talking about like Johnny Cash style stuff, or even look at what Jelly Roll's done with his music. His storytelling is incredible through his lyricism and his pacing with it. And learning about that and knowing about that and with your prior influences, you can put that in your music. Of course, it can still be heavy. It can still be loud. It can still be fast and aggressive. It can be whatever you want, but you have the ability to go off of that and really build from that.
Yep, couldn't say it better myself.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't know, Eyker. I don't know. I think we could use some more salsa in our music, maybe, man.
Maybe you should walk out on stage to a salsa song, dude.
That would actually low key be fire, dude. Like, I don't know, Kevin. For us, a lot of the I don't know, like live show is really important to us. We really want our live show to be really fun. So having songs like Control, where it's got that high energy, almost kind of like dancey riffs, is like, I don't know, that song. We haven't played live yet, but I'm really excited to.
Me too.
At the upcoming shows. Yeah, I hope so. I hope people really have fun and go nuts for it.
Oh God, you gotta play this live, and I understand what you're talking about the live show too, because when it comes to especially in the world today, I'll use this. The best bands aren't only putting out the best music, but they're also putting out the best live shows as well. There are plenty of artists out there that are putting out incredible music, let's say on like TikTok, Spotify, in the internet, everything. But then it's like they come to the live show and there's nothing there. And it's that at that time, growth just absolutely stagnates, because as a fan, it's like, I really don't want to come out and see the show live if it's not going to hit on the emotional impact of that positivity that I can feel if I go see other bands. Like for me, if you're going to make me go crazy in the pit and hit somebody and have a blast, I'm absolutely into it. If you're going to bring in the energy and just get everybody hyped up like Beartooth, I'm all for it. If you're going to make me just completely lose my mind and just go God mode in the pit, if I'm listening to Rise Against, I'm all for it. Like, that's what I need. But if I'm just standing there and just like not necessarily sure what the energy is, or if you're like trying to do something and it's just not like working, or you're staying stagnant up on stage and not moving and just playing the songs and that's it, there's really no connection there, and it's kind of drawing you away from the music, because at that point in time, you have those people right in front of you. They're absolutely into what you're going to be doing, so you have all the influence over them. And whatever your live show is, it can be for the best, it can be for the worst. You're not going to hit everybody in that positive light, but if you can put the energy in there to make it more positive, it's going to hit. And if you come out to a salsa song, that is just something that not a lot of people are going to be expecting. Or if you come out to something that's, full on WWE style, like all of a sudden,
I'm down for that too.
All the lights go down and you just hear the gong from the Undertaker's intro, and smoke machines fill the floor, and all the guys come up in the druid costumes, and they just slowly walk on stage with their instruments and sit down. And then here comes Eyker walking up with the top hat on, goes up, takes it off, eyes go fully back. You, the rest of the guys, they take off their hoods from the druid masks or druid hoods. And you just guys start going nuts and having a blast.
Yeah. And he goes, "How the hell you doing, Richmond? Y'all ready to lose your mind?"
Just talking like this.
Or whatever city you go to, find out who like the most popular WWE wrestler is from that area, and then
just rep that guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you ever go to Massachusetts, next thing you know, you could just go and play the John Cena theme. Just are you ready?
You just don't walk. You don't walk on stage. Can't see me.
Yeah, you're like, we're here. Just sing the whole thing from backstage, and it's just the whole
everyone's floating guitars hanging from the ceiling. All you got to walk on
stage like this. That's all you got to do.
Hell yeah,
I'm trying to think of some even like the even crazier ones too. Just I mean, someone can get RKO'd out of nowhere just in the middle of the pit.
And that
was crazy.
Dude, yeah, you want to go viral on TikTok? That's it. RKO somebody right at the breakdown drop.
There's kind of a plan already to do that at a show that I'm going to at some point in the next couple of months.
Yes, tag me when that goes up.
But it's
I need to record that. Yeah,
I'll say the plan is not an RKO out of nowhere. The plan is, so I'm not gonna say what show I'm doing this at, but one of my friends, what I'm gonna do is in the middle of the pit, I'm gonna give him the rock bottom. And then I'm going to stand over. I'm going to fake the elbow toss, or the elbow pad toss. Just do the get set for the people's elbow. Go run one end. I'm going to start coming up. He's going to pop up, flip me off, like kick me in the stomach and Stone Cold Stunner my ass. And I got to sell it.
You got to sell it, man. If you get all of that down and you don't sell it, you just can't, man. There's no room for mistakes, man. And somebody better. We need at least 2 angles on that shit. I got to see it, man.
Oh, I gotta do the full on, like, you know, if I'm at rock bottom and do the people's elbow, I gotta sell it like the Rock would. I gotta like go crazy. I might even pop up and just like go like this just at first and let him do it again and then flip backwards if I can do it.
You need to, man.
Yeah, but if you guys introduce something like that into your set on one time, or just, you know, start having these crazy entrances, who knows? It could be salsa and just, you know, you start out something completely different. Yeah. No one's going to expect that, but no one's going to forget it either.
Get people's attention.
That's what that's what I want. Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, like, you know, you'll have like the house music or whatever. And like currently for our live shows, you know, we switch up our like show intro probably like every quarter or whatever. You know, and sometimes it's kind of like a little more ambient. Sometimes it's like a kind of build up and a lead into a song. So it's like anything that's just like going to be a stark contrast from whatever the house music is, where it's like those lights go down and you got something that's going to make you hype.
Yeah. Oh shit, it's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that moment for me as like a concert goer, and I was like younger and go to like shows and stuff all the time. Like those moments, like I probably remember that moment the most at shows, is like when the lights goes down and the band takes the stage, and it's just that wow moment, that dopamine hit to your brain, and you're just like,
yeah, everyone's like,
shit. Yeah, like I don't know, that's always an important moment to pay attention to, and when we're building the set list for a live show.
We'll definitely think about, because the one I remember the most is, this was like 2 years ago, was I was seeing Starset, and they were opening for Mudvayne in like one of Mudvayne's first shows back. It was here in Milwaukee. Nice. So Starset's ready to go on stage. Lights go down, and we're like, we're going to get in this like some, you know, that electronic hyped up stuff. They went on stage to Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley. And the crowd was hyped for it. Then their stage show goes on. No one moshed in the crowd or anything. Like there was no movement. It wasn't Starset's fault there was no movement. There was so much of a laser light show going on. We were all just like, holy shit, this is cool. And then they were done, and we were all just like, we want to hit somebody for Mudvayne. Yeah. It just goes completely dark for Mudvayne. There's no intro music. They just come on and open with Dig.
Yeah, that's like, all you need with Mudvayne. And then it's go time right there, dude. You hear that burr dang, it's game over.
Yeah, but if you guys go on and all of a sudden the lights go down and everyone's waiting to go on, and all of a sudden you just hear, we've known each other for so long. You never know. Man. People are gonna get hyped to hear some Rick Astley. Let's be honest.
Very true. Dude. It always hits.
Well, guys, one other question I want to ask you is: we're still going into 2024. We still have a second half left, And you guys already talked about a brand new song, but what else you got coming up in the second half of the year? Any new shows? Where can we catch you guys live? Because we need to make sure you guys get seen live for these crazy intros and then whatever else happens.
Yeah. You got it, Eyker? You want me to get it?
If you got it, I don't have the dates in front of me.
I'm gonna riff for a minute. Grab the September ones. So we have our very next show is August 3rd. Is a one-off show with our friends in Perspectives up in Rochester, New York, at Photo City Music Hall, which is a super sick venue. They have laser lights there, which is sick. I'm really excited to play there. And then we have a weekender coming up at the end of August. I think it's the 23rd through 25th. The flyer's pinned on our socials on that one. But we're hitting 2 Pennsylvania shows. We're hitting Allentown and Harrisburg. And then we're playing in Newark, Delaware as well. Which is cool because a lot of these markets we haven't hit in probably like a year and a half. So pretty excited to be back in the area. I think we did just play Allentown, so that one we did revisit a couple months ago. But other than that, going to be some new markets, and then literally tomorrow, as of time of recording this interview, we have like a 4 or 5 show run announcement. Do you have that one handy, Eyker?
Yeah, so that's gonna be we're gonna go through Buffalo, New York, on September 6th, and the 7th we're gonna be in Worcester at the Raven, and then we've got Providence, Rhode Island, and then we got Mechanicsville. But so it's be September 6th, 7th, 8th, and then we have an off day. Then the 10th would be in Mechanicsville,
Yeah, so
PA.
Yeah, so 4 more shows in September, and then we might be able to squeeze in like one more little run, probably like November-ish. But yeah, trying to play more shows, trying to get out there more, hit some of these new markets, and kind of branch out because the band's based in Richmond, but we are kind of spread out ourselves as well. Eyker lives probably like an hour from Richmond. I live near Baltimore, Maryland, and then our drummer lives in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. So we are pretty spread, but we're trying to kind of break out from just like the Richmond and like Baltimore scene and kind of start doing like a little more kind of cutting our teeth in New York, hitting some of these other Pennsylvania markets, and just trying to kind of go up and down and take care of this kind of corner East Coast a little bit. Just cutting our teeth, and then hopefully we can make it more south and out towards like the Midwest and stuff, and slowly work our way over as best we can. And but I'm hoping with this we can build a strong following on the East Coast that can kind of help launch us into some other opportunities to anybody that's listening that isn't on the East Coast. We do want to get out there. It is expensive and challenging, and I won't bore you with the logistics or make excuses, but we're doing our best.
So just keep working at it, guys. So then, maybe next year, make it out to the Midwest, because we like music. We like fun, heavy stuff.
Yeah.
And we can move some shit too, because it's fun.
Yeah. The Midwest scene is pretty crazy. I would love to get set out there. It would be so sick. And yeah, but like I said, we have Cody helping us with Theoria, so I think it's definitely more realistic and more tangible than it's ever been before for us. So we're excited to keep working on it. We're always grinding on new music. So kind of working towards, we'll probably do like you'll probably see another EP from us
very soon,
building out. And then I don't know, we'll see what 2025 has, but we still got plenty left to chew on for 2024. So but yeah, you'll see us. We're always on all the social media. We do a lot of stupid shit on TikTok and whatnot. So if you follow us on any of those, you'll probably see some shenanigans on there. And I think that's pretty much it for the rest of the year. Ripping these shows, making content, making music, and
new music. Yeah, that's it.
And just hanging out, having fun, doing what we love.
And Brendan, on October 20th, you and I can bug Cody about a US run at the right in between after he's done playing it, with if not from be like, hey Cody, we can make this happen. Why?
Yeah.
I approve.
Yeah.
I approve.
Yeah,
And like I'll be like, I'm right in front of you, man.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's as good excuse as any. I'm like, Cody, anytime you want to take set out on a run, we're there for it. You know, it's like
Facts.
All right, well, I got one more question for you guys before we wrap this up. It's something I like to ask every single band I bring on because it lets me get to know and my fans get to know more about new music and get to know about more new music that you guys are really into. So there's 2 of you guys, but I'm looking for 3 collectively between the 2 of you. So can you guys give me 3 bands or artists that you absolutely love that you would love to see more people get into?
Me first.
We gotta agree on 3. We gotta agree on 3.
Or you could agree on one and then do one each.
Okay,
like that happens.
Can we both do 3 each if we can riff it?
If you can riff it, give it a shot, man.
All right. I'm gonna say we've already talked about If Not For Me. I'm gonna say Soft Spoken. I'm gonna say Major Moment and Avoid. How about you, Brendan?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Avoid is the motherfucking shit.
Yeah, they're so sick.
All right,
Speaking of NASCAR.
So I have 3 that I can name that are each at different levels in their emerging careers. But I love all of these bands. So one of them is Archers. They're decent sized band, but they're the nicest dudes and they make the coolest fucking music. So Archers. Dead Eyes is a fantastic band. If you're not hip to Dead Eyes, check them out. It's very like, I don't know, kind of Rage Against the Machine vibe, but like more metalcore and modern. But kind of has that like rap rock kind of feel. And then Sever Red is like a local band from Richmond, but like I mean this in the nicest way possible. It's kind of like butt rocky, like crossfade kind of vibe, but like it's sick because no one else is doing it that I know about in like the underground scene. And like they do it really well. I forget what producer they work with, but like their production quality is ace. So Sever Red, Dead Eyes, and Archers, get hip. That shit is fire.
I had to smell out the Archers one because I've been asking this question for almost a year now. And Archers is the second most said band when I asked this question.
Oh, really?
Number 2.
They're that band.
Yeah,
they are that fucking band, and they deserve that hype. They do. So if you've been listening to this podcast and you hear that come up a lot, and you haven't done it yet, go do it. Like you won't, it won't miss. Like any song, just go. You're gonna have a good time.
Well, even if you want to get to know more about the band too, because of all the suggestions, they reached out and said, "Hey, we've seen all the suggestions. Can we jump on the podcast?" So look at our channel. There's an Archers interview on there for you. They're your mom's favorite metalcore band, as they've stated.
Yeah,
that checks
real.
out. That checks out.
Real.
Hot moms love Archers. What can you say?
They do. I can confirm that. I did that tour with If Not in Archers, and
you were
I saw
literally
them
just
every
talking
night.
about that.
Yeah, I was like, it's kind of momcore, but like in the best fucking way.
I am cutting this piece up and I'm sending it to Grayson. He's got to see this.
Hi, Grayson, I love you.
Because I'm supposed to see him the day before Louder Than Life starts here in Milwaukee on September 25th. If they don't have your mom's favorite metalcore band shirts, I'm gonna yell at them. Like I'm seriously gonna be pissed at them.
They are leaving money on the table if they don't have that because I need one for every day of the week.
I might just wear like a plain white shirt and just write it on there.
Yeah.
It'd be like, guys, come on, if I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah. Just have that one of one, that custom shirt just for the show.
Or I could do this because I know a bunch of people that have a screen printing business. I could have someone come with some artwork for it, literally make this shirt, and if they love it, be like, I'll just give you guys the artwork. Go nuts. Yeah,
do it, man. That'd be cool. That'd be a cool story to tell and a cool like piece of content. Like I would watch that.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the story of how we got Archers their best shirt ever, but we got to get you guys a better shirt then after that. So, I don't know. We'll have Set for Tomorrow, and then we'll have Eyker like salsa dancing on it.
Yeah, I love it.
In a WWE ring.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
All right, Eyker, I want that design drawn this weekend.
Damn
Let's
it.
go.
Just got me more homework.
Got you more homework, man. Well, we'll let you get going on your homework by ending this podcast with 3 things. First things first, when it comes to Set for Tomorrow, when it comes to finding them on social media, when it comes to checking them out live, and find where you can listen to their music, and of course, buy a little merch as well, like when that Eyker Salsa Dancing WWE ring shirt comes out. Go to the description of the podcast below where it says find Set for Tomorrow online. Links, labels are there for everything for you guys to check out. So do not miss out on them. I'm going to be your own personal Google on this. So yeah, click the links. Go and do it. Otherwise, you're going to make me very angry. And we are going to treat you like Macho Man Randy Savage to anybody else in the ring.
Get RKO'd.
The cream of the crop rises. Oh yeah. Stuff like that. I was about to go, hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, this ain't the
that's his rival, bro. No.
This ain't the mega powers. We're not making them collide in this episode. Now step number 2. Guys, whenever guesting the podcast, I enjoy having the podcast. I always make a certain promise, a way to say thank you for being on the podcast, and I wish to continue to support the band in the future. So this is not an if, because if implies might not happen, and I say fuck that shit. I say when, because this is going to happen. We just don't have a day or time yet. When I get to see you perform live for the first time, I will look for you. I will find you like Liam Neeson in Taken. But instead of killing you, I'm going to say hi, and first round's on me.
Love it, dude.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice
Thank
big old
you.
hand heart on that one.
All
Oh,
right,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And now time for number 3. Guys, as we bring this conclusion, I cannot end this podcast by saying, guys, because I made you guys a promise, and we got to do this again at some point soon. I don't know when, but we're going to make this happen. Cody, we're making this happen again. So this is not goodbye, my friends. This is, I'll see you later. Well, folks, I made a video with Brendan and Eyker from the band Set for Tomorrow. Now let's head for Kevin's final thoughts. So, I mean, we went through a lot in here. We went through Control. We went through WWE style intros. We went through making the live show the best as possible. We went through how they built their sound. But really what stands out to me once again is the fact that they have those DIY roots. Like, take a look at, they said every other member has a different, outside artistic piece that really also funnels into the band. Whether it's videography, whether it is mixing, mastering, whether it's production, whether it's the live show, or whether it's just design overall. All these guys have these different passions, and they're really showing them here, and they're really maximizing out on those, and they're able to because they have the want and the will to do this. It's important to have the want and the will and have the band members, I should say, on the same page with this, so that there are people pulling their own weight and there are no questions about it. But where the real issue comes in, whereas, you have the DIY, so I know you're proud of them too, but you have to continue to expand as well. And there are going to be people out there that are going to be maybe better suited for this than you when it comes to design, artwork, mixing, mastering, maybe some production stuff, maybe videography stuff. It does not mean that you have to take a step back, but if you bring these people in, you have a chance to pick their brain, discover something new, learn more, and potentially give them ideas to bring your true ideas to life, or then give you ideas to help you bring your ideas to life as well. It's a collaboration effort that can really stand out, and that is what is important here. Collaboration, collaboration, collaboration. And Set for Tomorrow is going to continue to do that and stay with their DIY roots as well, so they can make it the best possible. And that's what people like Cody Frame from Theory Records are looking for. Yes, looking for a good sound, but looking for a band who has the drive to continue to do this and continue to want to be the best. So make sure you're doing that with your band, and make sure you check out Set for Tomorrow. So go to the description of the podcast below where it says find Set for Tomorrow online. Links, labels for everything are going to be down there. So do not miss out on them. Go and follow them. Go and subscribe to their stuff. Go and stream their stuff. It's all down there for you. Please also subscribe to the Chord Progression podcast. You're on YouTube. It's right down here. If you're on Spotify or podcast, hit the follow button. Brand new episodes of the podcast every single Tuesday and Thursday with some of the biggest bands out there and some of the best up and coming ones. Take a look at some of the big ones we've had on this year. Maddie Mullins from Anne Berlin, The Warning, While She Sleeps, Alpha Wolf. I could keep going on, but I'm just going to name those for right now. Yeah. And we're also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Links for the podcast below. Thank you guys from Set for Tomorrow. It was a pleasure having you on, and let's do it again sometime. On that note, that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you for watching, listening to the Chord Progression podcast. My name is Kevin, and you guys know how I end every single one. I'm a big, healthy, and hearty. See ya! Yeah.